Hi, I'm Kristin Heron with the Ormond Art Museum. Welcome to the Art of Healing. This month I'll show you how to make a mandala picture frame. If at any point during the video you need more time, just press the pause button. Gather these supplies: freezer paper, a wood craft frame, scissors, iron, acrylic paint, paintbrush, and a cup of water. A mandala is a geometric configuration of symbols or shapes, usually emanating from a central point. The first step in this project is to create a series of mandala stencils. You may know these better as paper snowflakes. Take a piece of freezer paper and fold it in half 3 times until you end up with a shape that looks like this. Then trim the edge so that it's curved. Cut the central point, and then cut on the 2 folded edges a variety of shapes. If you'd like, you can also cut one shape on the unfolded edge. Unfold the paper to reveal your snowflake mandala. Later, we'll be using these stencils to create a design on the wooden frame. So whatever size your wooden frame is, plan your stencils accordingly. Repeat the process of making the stencils until you have 3 or 4 snowflake mandala stencils. Pause the video if you need more time. Once you've made 3 to 4 stencils, spend some time arranging them on your frame. You'll want to be sure that the stencils are shiny side down. The freezer paper has a matte side and a shiny side, so be sure that the shiny side is facing the wood. Next, you'll use an iron on low heat to attach the stencils to the wood frame. As long as the shiny side is facing the wood, the freezer paper should adhere to the wood very easily using a low heat iron. Repeat this until all of your stencils are adhered to the wood. If all areas of your frame aren't covered by your 3 to 4 stencils, don't worry, because see that extra bit of stencil hanging off of the edge of the frame? In a minute, we'll cut that off and you can use that on the empty parts of the frame. As you're arranging the rest of your stencils, be sure not to overlap any parts of the mandalas with each other. Double check that all edges of your stencils are smoothly adhered down to the wood. When you're done ironing, if there are any large pieces of stencil hanging off the frame, you may want to trim them just to clean up your workspace. Next, it's time to paint the frame using acrylic paints. Don't use too much water because the frame is wood, so it's porous, and if you use a lot of water, the paint can seep underneath your stencils. So a little bit of water is okay for blending, just don't use a lot. Use mostly paint. When you're done painting, set your frame aside to dry. This will probably take about 30 minutes, or if you used very thick paint, it might take a little bit longer. After the paint is dry, the last step is to peel the stencil off of the frame very, very slowly and very carefully. If you pull the stencil off too fast, there may be some residue left from the freezer paper. So if that happens, you can just scrape it off carefully. But the key to avoiding that is to just work very slowly. So I'll leave the video at the same speed that I recorded it for a little while here so that you can get an idea of how slowly and carefully I peeled this stencil off. Okay, so I think you get the idea that this is a very slow meditative process, so I'm going to speed the video up now so that we don't run out of time. But please continue to work at your own pace, and if you need to pause the video, this is a great time to do that. You may notice that some areas seeped under the stencil a little bit, but that actually doesn't bother me. I think it's beautiful all the same. I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you'd like to send me photos of your finished frames, you can email me at my museum email, kheron@ormondartmuseum.org. And for more free art tutorials, please visit the video library at ormondartmuseum.org.